Hello, Lindsay Elliott from Lindsay Elliott Coaching. I'm back here again with another video. And this video is going to be about sort of loosely about sort of goal setting, success, failure, and also sort of insecurity, low self-worth, self-esteem, sort of all sort of wrapped up into one, I hope. Anyway, so what I want to have a look at, because it's something I'm super interested in, is when we look to achieve things in life, the place that we are coming from when we are looking to sort of set goals and create new habits and take up healthy behaviors and feel, in inverted commas, better about ourselves. And what I see and what I've experienced myself is that the sort of typical way to kind of go about it is that people think, right, I'm going to lose weight, I'm going to get fit, I'm going to get a better job, I'm going to earn more money, I'm going to get a better house, I'm going to get a better relationship, I'm going to have children, not have children, all of the things in the outside world that look like they're going to make us happy and feel good about ourselves. And we kind of set our sights on that and we get really invested in it. And if we achieve those things, then we can say, right, I feel happy about myself. And if we don't achieve those things, then we beat ourselves up and say, oh, well, I should just have more willpower, I don't have enough dedication, or I'm not disciplined enough, or, you know, and on and on and on goes the list. And when it's coming from that place of I'll feel better when, I'll feel happy when we've got some kind of stipulation after that, then really we are on a never-ending quest with happiness and feeling good about ourselves and feeling content is going to be always just out of our reach. If we believe that it's achieving those things that's going to make us feel either good about ourselves or just feel happy and contented and kind of done, if you like, you know, just kind of like, okay, my life's good now. And there's a few reasons for that. And the first thing that I think is really good to explore here and to see here is that when those things are coming from our mind, a mind is never going to stop talking to you about what needs to change, about how you need to change, about how your life needs to change, and what you need to do to achieve happiness, in inverted commas. Because our minds are totally, our thoughts, our thinking, our cognition is totally programmed to be always looking for the next thing so that it stays in control, so that you remain listening to it and it gets your attention. So what you may have noticed, for example, is that if you've lost a certain, say you wanted to lose weight and you lost a certain amount of weight, and then your mind might have started talking to you either about how actually you just need to lose a little bit more weight, or it might have then started to focus on something else that you need to change. Well, now that you've lost weight, you really need to grow your hair in order to look good, or you really need to get fit in order to look good, or, you know, it will make something else up. Or say you get the job that you want, or that you start earning the certain amount of money that you want. What you'll notice is your mind might start then talking to you about your relationship, or about your fitness, or about your diet. So when we're living up here and believing everything that our mind is telling us, and our mind is totally linking achieving things in the world, looking a certain way, having certain things, linking it 100% with you'll feel okay, you are good enough, you will be happy when those two things are linked in our mind, then we are on a hiding to nothing, because it's never going to stop. Okay, so as I said, it's always going to be, once something's achieved, it's the next thing. So see if you can reflect on that and notice that in your own life, how your mind will just flit about and change the topic of the thing that you need to achieve. Or the, you know, it might be that actually, oh, I need to meditate now, I need to be more peaceful, I need to be less angry. There's always going to be something. And when we also live from that place of I'll only be happy when, I'll only be good enough when, there is no freedom there. Because if we believe that it's having a certain body weight, not having, say if you're addicted to something, if you drink too much, smoke, gamble, if you believe that stopping those things is going to make you feel good enough about yourself or bring you happiness, or if you think that having a certain job, a certain house is going to make you feel good enough and bring certain happiness, if those things get taken away, then so does our happiness and so does our feeling of self-worth. If those two things are linked and tied, then we're always at the mercy of having to try to maintain those things, maintain the certain body weight, maintain the salary, maintain the house, maintain the relationship. And there simply is no freedom there. And one of the reasons, so that's the first piece of it really, is that the mind is in control here, and the mind isn't who we are, and it's on a never-ending search. Truly, it's on a never-ending search when you really look at it. And that we're also then totally bound to those things on the outside world in order to feel good, in order to feel happy, in order to feel good about ourselves. And what I want to suggest is that there is another way. And that other way is that when we can see that the feeling that we are looking for, just what if the feeling that we are looking for in having achieved those things, so say you do achieve the weight loss or the job or the relationship or the new house, there will be a moment, a time probably when your mind does quieten down a bit and you feel quite contented. You're like, oh yeah, I did that and I achieved that. I'm feeling really good about yourself, and that's okay. It's great to feel that. But what about if that feeling that you are looking for at the other end of I'll be happy when, I'll feel good enough when, what if that is already within you? And what if that is always coming from inside of you? What if it never actually came from those things outside? It just came from a mind that quietened down and a more settled internal state that feels good. And when we know that, when we can really see that within our lives, that it's nothing on the outside, all of those achieving things isn't going to make us happy, isn't going to make us feel good enough. And that it's listening to this constant noise in the mind that is actually taking us away from the peace, the good enough, the happiness that's already within us. Like, what if that were true? That's certainly what I've seen to be true, and certainly where I would love you to have an explore within yourself. Because truly from that place, when our happiness, our feelings of self-worth, our feelings of confidence are not dependent on those outside things, then we get to play in life. It isn't so much like success and failure on things. So we can say, great, I think I'd like to lose a bit of weight. It doesn't come with the baggage of, and it means so much about me that I need to do this in order to feel good about myself, or in order to be happy, I've got to lose this weight. We are freer then when we haven't got all of that hanging on us. Not only is it probably going to be easier to lose weight because you're not so up in your head, but also we are freer just to play with, okay, I'm going to see how this goes. Doesn't mean anything about me. It's not going to make me more happy, less happy. I'm just going to play here in seeing what happens, knowing that I'm 100% okay whether this is a success or a failure. And neither of those things are absolutely true, but it's just how our mind would like to talk to us about it. So what I'm suggesting in this is not that we don't set goals if we don't want to, that we don't, I'm not saying don't make any changes in your life because it's never going to make you happy. Well, I'm sort of saying that, but I'm not really saying that. That isn't what that means. That what I'm talking about doesn't mean that you shouldn't ever try to achieve anything or get a new job or have a new relationship or lose weight or any of those things, or stop smoking, stop drinking. It doesn't mean that we can't change our life if we want to. If there's things we have a preference for in life, it doesn't mean we can't go for those things. It just means that it takes all of the pressure off of it, because it doesn't mean so much about us. It doesn't mean so much about our happiness. And really, when we've got less pressure, when we're putting less internal pressure on ourselves, we are much more likely to achieve our goals and to reach those things that we want to achieve, those things that we want to achieve, when we aren't making it mean quite so much about us. And as I said, we then get to be in that place of more playing in life, as opposed to taking it all so seriously, because it means something about me as a person. It means something about how good I am and how other people view me and how I view me, even more importantly, whether I achieve this thing or not, whether I have this thing in my life or not. So when we can see really that it's always an inside job, so how we are feeling about ourselves doesn't come from the outside world. It always comes from within. And regardless of what is happening, we can still have that same feeling of contentment, of self-worth, of peace, of happiness. It's always within us, regardless of what's going on in the outside world. And you will have seen examples of this with people who maybe have been like amazing athletes and then have had, an accident, which means they can't be an athlete anymore. And then they just kind of shift. I'm not saying there wouldn't be some kind of process to go through that, some kind of grieving, some kind of feeling all of the feelings and the loss. But, you hear about them then becoming amazing Paralympic athletes, so I've totally got my word confused then. Or they might go on to write an amazing book, or, they just, something else is then that energy is channeled into something else, because it doesn't mean anything about them, that they can't do that thing anymore, because their self-worth isn't tied to it. So maybe just have a look in your own life, the things that you want to achieve, and just ask yourself the question, am I tying my self-worth or my happiness, some kind of meaning, some kind of importance to achieving these things? And when you can reflect on that and then question, okay, what if I already have this thing that I'm wanting to achieve, this feeling that I'm wanting to feel about myself or about my life, that's already within me. Do I still want to go for this thing? And it might be like, yeah, that would be fun. And then go for it. But if you may find, actually, no, I'm not that bothered. So I hope this has been helpful. If you've enjoyed this video, I do record 1 or 2 new videos every week. And so please do like and subscribe to my channel so that you can be notified when I release a new video. And I really appreciate you watching, and see you again soon. Thanks. Bye.